Oh, good morning, everybody, and happy hump day. As I say every Wednesday, we're halfway through the week. And as I say every day, who did I miss in the pre-party? I miss JM, YouTuber, Soulshine, Kimmer, Jules. Hello, Debbie. She said, cool morning here in Tucson, Arizona, finally. What's the temperature? Muscles and Mascara is in the house, and today is her birthday. It is also Chloe Jade's birthday. It is also Pat K's son's birthday. So let's kick it off right. Let's start celebrating birthdays. And don't forget, on Sunday, we're having our October birthday spectacular, along with our church we do. JPL said it best. She said, we've got some great people with birthdays today. You better believe it. Muscles is an amazing friend. Chloe is an amazing friend. And Pat K, even though I don't know her son, Pat K is an amazing friend. So I'm going to assume he is just as cool as her. So how y'all strangers doing? Hang on, Amber Robinson. Well, I am so glad you're here, y'all stranger. Where you been? I have missed you, Amber. I'm so glad you're in here. Don't be an old stranger. You know how it goes. Nana says 35 degrees. Woo, woo. Well, I might be stepping in it big time by doing this show today, but I think it'll be all right. As you know, by the grace of God, little Charlotte was found alive in upstate New York after extremely amazing work by not just law enforcement, but her parents. See, her parents had a perfect timeline, and the information they gave the police was, was spot on. They could tell by the triangulation they were telling him the truth, and they had other witnesses, you name it. But there are a couple of people on the YouTube streets that are saying, this case is just like Summers. No. They are not connected. In my opinion, they are not similar. This guy was nowhere near Rogersville in June of 2021, just like Sarah and Stacy Wandera were not in Rogersville, Tennessee in June of 2021. Just like the FedEx man that killed Athena Strand was not in Rogersville. That's another thing. I understand that people are frustrated because there's not a lot of movement on her case that we know of. Christina said they're comparing it to Madalena too. Can you say trafficking? The FBI is all up in Madalena's case. We just did a show about it last week or the week before. Let me catch my breath. My friends. Let me catch it. Let's wish everyone a happy hump day.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Woohoo! It is hump day. Imagine how that camel's spiny spine feels. If you know, you know from our members show last Friday. Imagine how that camel's spiny spine feels. Wow. Elmer said it's drinks day. Well, Elm, for you, that's any day that ends in Y. My goodness. My goodness. One comment, well, not one, more than one person made this comment. And at first I just thought, with texting and social media, things get lost in translation. I have seen some comments. Again, let me grab my breath. Where some deranged ass women said, why couldn't this have been summer? Did Charlotte step on your toe? Did Charlotte do something to you? Every child should be saved. Every parent should have fast response to when they cannot find their child. Every parent should know exactly what their child had on, like Charlotte's parents did, like Michael's parents did, like Athena Strand's parents did, and many others. Every parent should have a tight ass timeline. This is where I was at 3 o'clock. Might have been 3:15. This is what was going on at 4. She went out to play at 5. I started calling around 5:10 because pizza was on the way or whatever, getting stuff out of the oven. Couldn't find my child. But you have a huge time gap with Summer's case. Oh, what to do? What to do? Well, I know what we're going to do. We are going to bring up 2 days in a row now our good friend Mama B, because we have been going back and forth on this subject, and I think both of our faces have fallen off. Let's say hello and happy Spiny Spine Day to Mama B. Well, good morning again, my friend. We have been going back and forth, and we still can't remember what case brought us together.
Haven't a clue.
So many over the years. It was before the channel.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It could have been before all the Facebook groups. I could have entered one of yours. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It'll come to me someday. So now we were talking about some of the comments, particularly from the Wells camp, that are making statements like, this case is just like Summers.
Yeah, that's so inaccurate. It's pathetic.
I thought it was a bad choice of words, but I saw it several times that said, too bad this wasn't Summer. Now, I have a feeling that Charlotte and Charlotte's family have no idea who Summer Wells is. But imagine one day they're going through the comments and they see somebody would rather wish your daughter still missing and Summer brought back to her family. Why can't it be both? Why can't it be? I hope Summer's found soon too. We've been hoping that for over 2 years.
Or 3 if you listen to Candace.
Like Candace says, we're going on 3 because I mean, there's no hope in finding her. Again, there was absolutely no gap in her parents' timeline. We're still trying to figure out how it took 3-4 hours for Candace to plant a couple of cactus and walk Summer in and not be able to account for the rest of the afternoon. And why it took so long, even Ronnie Lawson said to his former assistant, well, why don't you ask her why it took her so long to call? It didn't take Charlotte's parents too long to call. It didn't take Athena Strand's parents too long to call. It didn't take Michael Vaughn's parents too long to call. But, you know, Candace says you lose track of time when you're having fun.
And to think I defended these people.
I think everybody at one point did, and sometimes they force me to defend them because sometimes when things are wrong, they're wrong. You know, there are things, you know, with the Wells, as much as I believe that somebody up there knows more, I can't say that someone did it because I'm not law enforcement. I can say allegedly all day, but I have a very hard time believing that Candace Wells and her mother do not know more about what happened June 15th.
Yeah.
Crime Traveler said, I'm not defending them. I just don't think they killed their child. See, there you go. That's how you have a conversation. And I think they know more. I think they have to know more. Because other cases we've seen, even though it goes a long time before we hear anything, behind the scenes, it's click, 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 click. They've got things in place, and that comes from the information from the parents. But we are led to believe that somebody went down a dead-end road, could see through all of the foliage, made it up the dog trail or up the driveway in the middle of the afternoon with Grandis outside, because I don't think she was napping, Candace outside, 3 boys in the house, got into the basement, grabbed Summer, and got away. Also, with Charlotte's family, CPS has never been involved in their family. Never came to check on them, never got a call, nothing. So it's not anything alike. Nothing alike. Her parents do not have criminal records. They fully cooperated almost to the point, much like Tyler and Brandy, when the police in upstate New York told them to stand down, we're searching, they would not leave the campsite. And they said, no. We are searching too. We are going to walk this whole park until we find our daughter. What Dawn and Candace do? Sent their boys out with buck knives, and Candace went inside to call Allie and Hunter. A couple of days after Summer's evaporation, disappearance, this was her mother and grandmother at the water park. Look at them. And this is with a bad knee. Imagine going down that slicker slide with that bad knee. They're like, oh, they just want to make the boys happy. You think Charlotte's parents didn't want to make her siblings happy? They didn't leave the park. They said, we are not going home without our daughter. Pat K said, that pic makes me sick. Muscle said, birthday girl Muscle said, that pic says it all to me. Candace waited 2 weeks to make a public plea. And yes, I understand Charlotte's parents didn't make a public plea, but they had the aunt doing it because they were searching. All right, we do have an update out of Charlotte's case that came out last night. Whoop, where'd it go? Check this out. I'm not blaming this woman for anything. I'm not saying that she could have prevented anything, because as we know, sick is sick, and evil will do whatever evil wants to do. But it kind of goes back to see something, say something. Check this out, because I'm sure this blew your mind, Mama B.
Totally blew my mind.
There has been a lot of police activity here all day. This entire property is cordoned off and troopers are guarding the scene. The double wide in front is where authorities say Ross's mother lives. They say they found the little girl in a camper out back. Authorities say they were led here by a fingerprint on a ransom note left in the mailbox of Charlotte's parents, a fingerprint that hit for a DWI in Saratoga in 1999. Neighbors were surprised by the police activity.
Well, I didn't even know until my kids. I texted both of them and said there was all this activity on Barrett Road. Can you imagine, And then they...
Poor lady, I'm sure she was freaked out. Because my understanding is Barrett Road is a very calm road. You know more about it than me, Mama B.
I've never been on Barrett Road in my life.
Well, then I'm just going to take this lady's word for it. Because, imagine she gets up to get her cream of wheat and she's got state troopers, FBI, and everything crawling down her road. Exactly, Boston. A good old-fashioned fingerprint. We talk about body cam. We talk about CCTV. We talk about DNA. That's the big one. Did they find a hair? I heard that one day. Fingerprint. They found a fingerprint.
They texted me and said that it was on the news and who it was. And I was shocked.
Another neighbor said 2 months ago she was planting with her then 9-year-old grandson, went back to turn on the spigot, heard the dog barking, and came back to see Ross standing over her grandson.
And usually I approach people politely, but I had a very bad feeling in my stomach. And I said, hey, what's going on here?
This scares the hell out of me, which makes me believe what we spoke about yesterday. He was stalking a child to take. Imagine coming in your front yard and seeing this wildebeest hanging over your grandchild. I'm afraid Mama B and her husband would have whipped the dog piss out of him.
My husband would have whooped his ass.
My goodness. Whew.
And he said, nothing. And he starts backpedaling a little, a couple steps.
He said he wanted help with a weed whacker. So she said she'd get her husband.
And he says, no, I'm okay. And he had his white bicycle placed way out by the side of the road. And he went across my lawn, jumped on the bike, and headed east. And last night, when all this went down, all I went back to was that, and how very, very close I believe, from the bottom of my heart, that could have been my grandson.
And that neighbor says she wants to remind people that things can happen quickly, anytime and any place. And she, along with many others in this area, are rejoicing that Charlotte is back home with her family. In Milton, Kumi Tucker, News Channel 13.
Well, not everyone's rejoicing. Some people are saying, why couldn't it have been summer? Why can't it be both?
It should be both.
Why don't her parents cooperate? Well, I can't really say Don because I don't know where his ass was all day. Why can't her mother and grandmother, who we know for a fact were home that day, tell the police everything that was going on that afternoon, or as Leslie says, the circumstances leading up to. The circumstances leading up to. I mean, hell, Brandy one day was cleaning the house or going through the house, I don't know, and she found a shirt of Michael's that she knew hadn't been washed. You know how kids do. They're on the other side of the bed, under the bed, whatever. She called the police immediately, and she said, you might be able to get another scent off of this. Not Dawn and Candace. Oh, no. Oh, no, she didn't really wear shoes. Oh, no. I just did laundry. You didn't do laundry. You didn't even throw away your toilet paper rolls. Kidding me? All right, let's look at the difference in press conferences. Because abduction investigations are treated totally different than foul play or wandering off. I think we've given up on the wandering off scenario because she would have been found. Okay? Trafficking situations like Madalena Kojikari are treated totally different than foul play. Listen to Leslie's words, and then we're going to listen to the troopers in New York. And what they say.
To find Summer. It's now been 1 week and 2 days since she went missing. There's still two aspects of this case, the active search and the investigation. You'll hear more about the search in just a minute. TBI agents and Hawkins County detectives working alongside the FBI continue to work around the clock to determine what happened to Summer Wells. In order to preserve the integrity of the investigation, we can't discuss everything we're doing and have done to find Summer. Here's what we can tell you. Numerous residents and individuals associated with the family have been interviewed. Surveillance video and photos have been reviewed, as well as other potential digital evidence. We're still working to identify everyone in the area on the afternoon that Summer went missing. One of you asked us in a previous briefing the standard amount of time it takes for a case like this to be resolved. While every case is different, this one is definitely outside.
I'm going to take it from the expert. Every case is different. Now, I stick my foot in my mouth quite a bit, and I compare cases when I shouldn't. And you guys can slap my hand when I do. Every case is different, but this one is outside of the norm. They've already ruled out abduction, and we know children get abducted. We witnessed it this week. We know children get abducted, and it's horrible, horrible. Children should be safe at home. They should never be victims in their own home or anywhere. Now, instead of an abduction, Dawn is saying CPS abducted her. What? They had many chances to take the kids. They didn't do anything until July of 2021. But he says he basically made a call and said it was unsafe there. No, that's not what happened. You don't call CPS to babysit your kids. Any thoughts, Mama B?
Who in their right mind calls CPS to come get their kids because it's not safe in their house?
Yep. That was before
CPS has abducted the boys. They won't give the boys back because they want them for their money. It's like, come on, Don. They're not giving the boys back because you're unfit.
You're unfit. And not to mention, when people were raising money for a billboard, he said they just need to give us that money. Why would you not want a billboard to find your daughter? To get awareness out, advocacy out. When the boys were removed by the state of Tennessee, this was before any any YouTube interview with Chris McDonough, Cher, Benny, Jenna came in the picture, Ziggy, any of them. JLR hadn't even heard of the case, but he said YouTubers made it unsafe. Now, I do know there was a ton of psychics crawling around. I do know that. But I don't think they were coming up on the hill to bother the boys.
I'm surprised that CPS and the court has not terminated Don and Candace's rights yet.
I don't get it. Same with Allie.
You're supposed to, I know here in New York, you got 15 out of the 22 months. Your kids are in foster care for 15 out of 22 months. They terminate your rights. I've seen them do it. They did it to my husband's nephew. His kids were in foster care, 15 months, boom. They released him for adoption.
Yep. And it's unfair to the children to let them sit in limbo, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the stress and anxiety that the children live with, thinking that they're going to return to that hellhole?
I can't imagine.
I mean, one of the kids even spoke to Don and knows what they're doing on YouTube and called him a jackass. It's like, what are you doing? No, Don said that he called him a jerk off. Well, what do I see here? Birthday girl is giving gifts on her birthday. Thank you, Muscles. Thank you for the Crime Lines and Lies memberships. She's making it rain on her birthday.
Of the norm. Typically, in an investigation like this one, we have some idea of where the case is headed and what might have happened within a few days. In this situation, despite doing everything within our power and exploring all avenues, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance remain unclear.
The circumstances leading up to Summer's disappearance remain unclear. Let's hear that again. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, and some people tell me to move away, quit talking about Summer Wells. I think she deserves to be found and not forgotten.
Days. In this situation, despite doing everything within our power and exploring all avenues, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance remain unclear. I understand the lack of answers frustrates you in the public, but trust me, no one is more frustrated than we are. If we develop information that will lead to locating Summer, we will share that with you first and foremost. In the meantime, we ask anyone with information who hasn't come forward to please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. I'll turn it over to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson.
Thank you. Just to go along with Leslie, I know there's a lot of social media going on out there, a lot of detectives going on, but they're absolutely useless unless these people that's 100% positive calls 1-800-TBI-FIND. It means nothing. We're monitoring all social media and everything that you all put out from people that you all interview. And I assure you, you'd have to work very hard to find somebody that we hadn't talked to. They may not tell you. One point I want to make clear up, obviously, is a couple of days ago, I asked for the public not to help us in our search in the woods and stuff. That is because we know where every searcher is, where every team is, and the captain and his staff, they're tracking everyone. So if we get the general public in the woods, we don't know about it, then they're going to get missed when they go home or don't go home. So it's going to be somebody else. So we have to generate time and information and resources to find. What I did ask for, and I still.
Now, we had a very long conversation, candid conversation with Brandy Neal on Discord last week. And I asked her, Pat was in there, Just Me was in there, Trev was in there. She said when she spoke to the police, like what's one of your biggest hurdles? And they said, well, basically anything that anyone calls in, we have to investigate. We have to. They have to. And so when they get a lot of psychic tips or people that have misconstrued things on social media, they have to look into it. They have to look into it. Now, we know that even with Lil Charlotte being a proven abduction, there are still people in the comments talking about her parents. Her parents were in the woods looking for her. And I know that upset you when we were talking this morning, Mama B. You were like, what are they doing talking about the parents?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't just the parents. It was the whole family. There was like 20 of them that all stayed there. They did not leave. They were not leaving until that kid was found.
No.
They were staying there as long as they had to stay. As long as law enforcement was going to let them stay, they were staying. They were not going home.
I mean, to the point, if what I heard was true, and I believe everything I hear on the internet, particularly Facebook, the dad even risked getting arrested himself and said, I'm not going anywhere. You can shut the park down, but I'm not leaving here without finding my daughter. I'll be in the woods. If you need police with me, that's fine. But I'm not going anywhere until I find my daughter. Then you have Don and Candace. They got pissed because the helicopters woke them up, and they went down to the search effort and picked up supplies for the searchers as if it was a food bank. Gotta be kidding me.
Crazy.
It's just damn sick is what it is. All right, now let's look at what we've heard. What TBI, who by the way is a great agency, they find kids all the time. They solve cases all the time. Hell, even Hawkins County, look at their inmate roster. They got people in the jail all the time. They know how to solve cases with cooperation. With cooperation. Now let's listen to what the trooper said. I'm not going to go through the governor because she's getting a lot of heat for some things that she said. Let's listen to what the trooper says in Charlotte's disappearance. Again, I do not see how anybody in their right mind believes these cases are in any way similar. But if you see it a different way, please let me know.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I am Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Assistant Deputy Superintendent of the New York State Police Uniform Force. Shortly before...
By the way, when my husband saw this, he was PO'd that he didn't have a purple tie on. I said, well, he's got purple around his hat. He goes, where's his purple tie? I don't think Mama B was offended.
Didn't even notice.
We won't tell him.
At 7 p.m. last night, state police responded to Moreau State Park in the town of Moreau for a report of a missing 9-year-old female identified as Charlotte E. Cena of Greenfield, New York. Charlotte was last seen at approximately 6:15 p.m. riding her bike in Loop A of the park. At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing. A command center was subsequently established at the Moreau State Park office, and search teams were deployed, which consisted of New York State Police uniformed troopers, State Police Special Operations Response Team, New York State Park Police, forest rangers, and our unmanned aerial systems, underwater recovery team, aviation, and canine, as well as several civilian volunteers. A missing child alert was issued last night, and search efforts.
Oh boy, Susie Sue, she's my best email friend. We email back and forth all the time. Whew, she's coming in on Spiny Spine Hump Day. She said if God always forgave, he wouldn't have created hell. Woo, Susie Sue. Thank you for that.
Police uniformed troopers, State Police Special Operations Response Team, New York State Park Police, forest rangers, and our unmanned aerial systems, underwater recovery team, aviation, and canine, as well as several civilian volunteers. A missing child alert was issued last night, and search efforts continued throughout the night. In addition to our massive search efforts, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation has been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region, as well as pursuing all investigative leads. Additional search teams were deployed this morning, and an Amber Alert was issued at 9:35 a.m. this morning.
Now let's talk about the Amber Alert because it came out roughly 12 hours later. Some people were upset with the lag in time, but they cleared the parents. And the criteria in New York is much like Oklahoma. They knew it was an abduction. Problem is, they didn't have a car. So it's a wonder she got the Amber Alert, because in Oklahoma, you have to have a car. You have to have a car. Well, thank you, Joy Kelly, for gifting 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Get your raincoats. Welcome to the family. Do you want to add to that about the Amber Alert?
Well, to me, they started searching at like 7 o'clock at night. Police got there at 7 o'clock at night. It's getting dark. They searched all through the night. They had helicopters flying around. They had, daylight comes, 6 o'clock in the morning or so? And by 9:35, the Amber Alert went out. So they only searched in the daylight hours for a few hours, and they made up their mind that there was an abduction that quickly because they didn't find her overnight with the helicopters. They knew what they were doing. It took 15 hours, but they also searched all night long and only had a few hours of daylight. So they didn't waste much time searching in daylight hours. You know what I mean? It's not like they searched all day long from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night and it was light outside and they didn't see anything.
No, they were searching their asses off, and they also knew that the parents' story, I shouldn't say story, their timeline added up, and the triangulation backed up what they were telling them.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Candace. We have more people in the family. Welcome, new members. Welcome to the family. My goodness, y'all are making me blush. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And the campsite that they have roped off, you can see it right from the road. There was another creator that was out there all day yesterday, and he very clearly pointed it out. It was all roped off in crime scene tape. And right across the road, there's a pull-off. This guy could have pulled over in the pull-off spot and walked right through those woods and snatched her up. I don't think he was ever in that loop. I think he came in through the woods.
I think so too.
The campsite is only like 10 or 15 feet off the road.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no fence.
And they closed the park off immediately.
Yeah.
Just like with Summer's case. They closed off the road. But the thing is, they don't know how long she'd been gone. They don't know how long Summer had been gone. Because Candace tells you 10 minutes, 2 minutes, but you don't really know. We also know that she left the hill 2 more times that day, but she doesn't remember what she was doing. So yes, I believe law enforcement did their job in Summers' case. Not saying I think that Ronnie Lawson is salt of the earth. Not saying Pruitt's my favorite person, but I believe that all agencies involved collectively did amazing work and still are behind the scene.
Massive search efforts. Our Bureau of Criminal Investigation has been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region, as well as pursuing all investigative leads. Additional search teams were deployed this morning, and an Amber Alert was issued at 9:35 a.m. this morning. I want to thank our state police members, our park police and forest rangers, and all of our law enforcement and community partners for the commitment and efforts to find Charlotte. We continue to dedicate all resources that we can to find Charlotte and bring her home safely. Charlotte E. Cena is a 9-year-old white female with long blonde hair, is approximately 5 foot 1 inch in height, and weighs about 90 pounds. She was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet.
And when your child is missing, that's the way you relay the information to the authorities. This is what my child had on. You don't ever change their wardrobe. And you certainly don't give the wrong age. And you certainly don't give the wrong picture. Do you not? Why would you give a picture to the authorities if you're looking for your child of a girl with a bob haircut as opposed to one that is shaved friggin' bald? It's a big difference. It's a big difference.
Members of the State Police Wilton BCI will be leading this investigation, and anyone with any information is asked to call the New York State Police at 518-477-9333 or call 911. Any updates will be posted to the State Police newsroom at nyspnews.com. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'll take them at this time. Well, following our exhaustive search of the park, we took that step of issuing the Amber Alert because we felt that after that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
So they knew that quickly. We knew it was quite possible an abduction had taken place. Yet, with Summers' case, even though people say a few, not a lot, it's just like Summer. It's just like Summer. They said no abduction. FBI card unit said no abduction. Listen to him again.
Well, following our exhaustive search of the park, we took that step of issuing the Amber Alert because we felt that after that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
I was just wondering in terms of how much the park has been covered so far. You know, where exactly it's a relatively large park.
Well, certainly we started at the area that she was last seen, and over the course of the last 18 hours, we've conducted an exhaustive search of the park. We've been checking the waterways. As I mentioned, we have our drones and aviation assets looking from above while our teams are on the ground. We had a bloodhound assigned to this area, several other canines, so I feel confident at this point. We've conducted a search of this park, and we're going to continue with that while we also search every other avenue.
And they did. Oh my goodness, JPL, what are you doing? This is because I invited her to go to Compton, California so we could go look around. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I am blushing. Best chat in true crime. Real victims are children. Let's keep on putting on the thinking cap. Love you, JPL. Love you, love you. And not just for the $50. You make me laugh. You make me smile. All right. Seriously, I am blushing. Now here we are, even after the FBI said no abduction. TBI said no sign of abduction. The list goes on and on. You have Dawn still saying she was abducted. Why don't you work with the authorities instead of against them? This is O'Brien Enton, who Dawn said took advantage of him, much like Chris McDonough. From my untrained eye, I don't see how either of them took advantage of simple ass Dawn. If you see something, let me know.
It's now been 5 months since Summer Wells disappeared. Do your investigators know anything more now than they did 5 months ago?
We really don't know anything more, but everything's still on the table.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is in charge of the investigation.
Everybody that's involved in this case is a person of interest. We've not ruled anyone out.
Summer's dad, Don Wells, agreed to meet with us. We talked to him on the edge of his property where Summer disappeared.
What do you think happened? What does your heart tell you?
Well, I know in my heart and in my mind she was abducted. Someone snuck up there when we weren't.
I know in my heart and my mind she was abducted. Somebody snuck up there. Let's look at the map. Let's look at the map, and we have reason to believe that Charlotte was being stalked for who knows how long by Craig Ross Jr. You can easily see from this map, and there's no sound behind it. Mama B cannot narrate. We tried that yesterday because StreamYard automatically mutes us when a video's up. You can clearly see in the park where Charlotte was abducted, proven how somebody could get to her. Ben Hill Road makes no sense. You don't even know there's a house up there unless you know the scumbags. So you can see how somebody could be in the woods waiting, could have followed them out there, you name it. But even though Don has blamed everybody under the sun except for his own wife and his own mother-in-law, the list goes on and on of people that he has claimed have taken Summer. If CPS wanted to take Summer, they wouldn't go up the dog hill. Wiss said the card team does not go by hearts and minds. They go by evidence.
Exactly paying attention, and that we don't know if
Okay, right there. This is the truest thing he's probably ever said that I know of.
in my heart and in my mind she was abducted. Someone snuck up there when we weren't exactly paying attention.
We weren't exactly paying attention. Well, who's we? When I say we, like right now, I would say we would be all of us.
And why we? He was supposedly working. So how does we come into the picture?
Mm-hmm. He spackles 7 days a week. We weren't paying attention.
And we don't know if they come in the basement and grabbed her, or if she stepped outside the basement and was walking to her swing or something.
You can see the Wells house up through the trees on the hill right here. Summer was home with her mom, Candace. Her younger brothers and her grandmother was also on the property. And what the family thinks happened is that someone took Summer, brought her down this steep embankment to possibly a car that was waiting in the roadway.
And I said, boys, where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, mom, to play. So I went over here like this.
Okay, now I can understand Charlotte's mother saying, "Where's Charlotte? It's time for dinner. She didn't come back from the bike ride." But Mom Patrol, helicopter mom, not opposite day, Candace, walking back into the house, supposedly 2 minutes later going, "Boys, where's your sister? Boys, where's your sister? Oh, she went downstairs to play." Why would she be looking for Summer? We know she wasn't cooking. Did she need help with the cactus? Why on earth? When she was supposedly looking for Summer, did she not ask Jody Sue, "Have you seen Summer?" All she said to Jody Sue was, "Summer's gone." Whereas other families, namely Charlotte, they asked everybody, anyone they could get a hold of, whether they knew him or not. "Have you seen Michael? Have you seen Charlotte? Have you seen JC? Have you seen Sean? Have you seen Athena?" Not, "Summer's gone. Hey boys, where's your sister?" Makes zero sense. And Connie, thank you so much for the super sticker. Me love you long time. That's amazing. Thank you, Connie.
Summer's mom, Candace, allowed podcaster Chris McDonough with the interview room into her home in July.
Is this how I would get down here?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you're walking down here or not.
They went downstairs in the cluttered house.
Imagine McDonough's spine having to get down into the dungeon. What would your spine do, Mama B?
I couldn't get down there on my broke ass back.
He probably thought, "Can I just go through the door? My spine can't help it."
What a strange setup that is. Who has to crawl under a bar or whatever, a banister, to go down the stairs? That never sat right with me. It doesn't make any sense. The setup just is so bizarre.
Well, because basically it's a basement. And they use it as another room. And Workaholic Dawn didn't put a proper staircase in. But YouTube, who has been a thorn in their side, to the rescue, got them a lot of money to renovate, not remodel, not slap some paint up, renovate that shithole. There's actually a staircase there now.
And into Summer's bedroom.
But this is where Summer and little Waylon was.
This is the back door Summer may have disappeared through.
But I know I did come out here and I said, "Summer," because sometimes she'll sit right here.
Do you think Candace would speak with me?
I don't know. I mean, we had to beg her, you know, to please go on Dr. Phil, because she's just so been burnt thousands of times by people. So that's why she don't want to talk to nobody, and she didn't want to go on Dr. Phil. That's why she was getting upset, because of the way the YouTubers and other people have turned on her. They've just ruined her.
Very sorry for the occasion.
The Wells were on Dr. Phil last week, and at one point, Candace walked off.
I'm being interrogated again, and I don't want to do this anymore. Yes, I am.
I'm being interrogated again, and I don't want to do this. It's not helping me. Help your daughter. Help your daughter. Some of your new friends are saying Charlotte's case is just like Summer's. Well, guess what her parents did? They helped their daughter. They helped their daughter. They said exactly what was going on that day. Sorry, I muted myself, about to sneeze. Look at that tender Daisy. Not Daisy, the creator. Candace. Oh, help me! Mama B, it's not help me! I want to go home!
We'll stop. I want you to feel comfortable.
No, I want to go home.
I'm down.
Questions have come up about what Candace might know. Could she have gotten herself into a situation where it wasn't her fault, but
no.
You know what I mean?
No. She's a good mother. She loves her children. She's not going to allow any situation like that. The biggest mistake she might have made is maybe choosing some wrong friends, which is, you know, it happens. But other than that,
choosing some wrong friends, which it happens. Mama B, you're a mama, obviously. Do you feel that you choose the wrong friends?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so. Nope. But this is
friends like hers. You don't need enemies, that's for sure.
For real. For real. She might have chosen the wrong friends. Yet every child that she has ever birthed has been taken away or is missing.
They've all been abused.
They've all been abused. 2 taken by the state of Wisconsin, 3 by the state of Tennessee. Summer is missing, and she couldn't say shit if she had a mouthful of it. When she gets on YouTube, which has been so horrible to her, what did she say recently? We're Team Summer, but we're not talking about Summer today.
Oh.
We're not talking about Summer today. We're talking about PG and how awful she is. Really? That's what's on your mind with everything you've got going on? That's it? That's what you got? That's what you got for us? All right, this is from Criminality, I think. I love how they put this together. There is the link where Summer 800 TBI Fine said maybe Candace is really the wrong friend. Boom. Boom. Listen to this clip. I'm going to play it straight through, then go back through it. Here is another huge difference between Summer's case and Charlotte's case, because Charlotte is the most recent one that people are trying to say, that's just like Summer. No evidence. This is an abduction.
Well, I knew right away that she was abducted.
Without any evidence of an abduction.
Somebody abducted her.
Think she would be kidnapped? Never.
She was kidnapped.
They can find there was no indication whatsoever of child abduction.
This is the fact. Someone abducted our daughter.
What I'm saying is they're not being truthful.
This is Summer has come missing. We've been used and abused by the fucking police.
The child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
It's not just the YouTubers, it's the fucking police.
Why are they so cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now.
They accused me of selling my daughter's adult. Fucking TBI and FBI.
The county sheriff says right now Summer's family is no longer cooperating with their searches.
They come and have, for the 11th time, kicked our door in.
Little girl's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating amid the ongoing investigation.
She's not in that area, and they know that.
I believe that she would probably be somewhere close by.
Somebody's abducted her and chucked her out of the area.
We found nothing to lead us to believe that she's been abducted or trafficked out of the area.
No, we don't know. Well, we know someone took her because we know.
They have no.
All right. Great job by Criminal. Check out her channel. Muscle said, birthday girl said loud and clear. Tiffany said, why are people comparing Summer to Charlotte? I'm confused. Same as me. Just like they compared Summer to Athena Strand. Compared Summer to Madalena Kojakari. Compared Summer to Michael Vaughn. Who they need to compare her to, if you're going to find a comparison, would be Gannon Stout or Kyron Horman. Let's go through this again.
They have no evidence that this is an abduction.
No evidence that this is an abduction. Whereas in New York, first press conference, we believe we're dealing with an abduction. Michael Vaughn, they said every day that goes by, it's increasingly more obvious that we are dealing with an abduction. They can't be more clear here. Why are people not getting it?
Case.
Well, I knew right away that she was abducted.
Without any evidence of an abduction.
Somebody abducted her. She would be kidnapped? Never. She was kidnapped.
They can find there was no indication whatsoever of child abduction.
This is the fact. Someone abducted our daughter.
What I'm saying is they're not being truthful.
This is Summer has come missing. We've been used and abused by the fucking police.
We've been used and abused by the effing police. They just want the information. They wouldn't kick your door down, Don. They want the information. They want to know where your ass was that day. They want to know what happened from dropping Hunter off to calling 911. I can tell you what time I got up this morning. I can tell you what I've eaten, how many cups of coffee, how many times I had to scoop out OJ's litter box, how many times OJ has gotten on my nerves. I can tell you what time the show started. But June 15th, between Candace and Grandis, they cannot tell you anything.
The child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
It's not just the YouTubers, it's the fucking police.
Then get off of YouTube, dipshit.
No, they're not cooperating right now.
They accused me of selling my daughter's adult. Fucking TBI and FBI.
Sold my daughter for dope. Well, who does dope? Who does dope, Don? You? Candace? They say Grandis takes a bunch of pills. That's according to Sherry and Allie and Grandbun. Who's doing all the dope? Sold her for dope. Gotta be kidding me. Thank you, Canvas and Crime, for the super sticker.
The county sheriff says right now Summer's family is no longer cooperating with their searches.
They come in here, for the 11th time, kicked our door in.
Little girl
came in for the 11th time and kicked our door in. Well, we know it wasn't the bathroom door because you don't have one. Don't have to worry about that. Crime Traveler said, see, that's the problem. People believe everything on the streets. I don't listen to that mess. I don't. I listen to what law enforcement says. And when law enforcement, who has the case file, says there is no abduction, they're not cooperating, we need a solid timeline, I believe them over the ever-changing stories by the man that supposedly wasn't there and his wife who has a history of child abuse. But that's just me. How about you, Mama B? Who do you believe?
Not them.
Debbie, thank you for making it rain. We have a lot going on in here. My goodness. Thank you, JPL. Hey, Donnie, if your daughter was really kidnapped, where is the ransom? We're going to be hearing that soon. Mark my words. Old Don is going to grace us with his presence on some show, who knows where. And he's going to bring up the ransom. He's brought it up before because he's heard this about Charlotte, that there was a ransom note.
Girl's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating amid the ongoing investigation.
She's not in the area, and they know that.
I believe that she would probably be somewhere close by.
Somebody's abducted her and took her out of the area.
Because we found nothing to lead us to believe that she's been abducted or trafficked out of the area.
No, we don't know. Well, we know someone took her because we know.
Amazing. Crime Traveler said not cooperating because they won't stay off of YouTube. Well, they need to set their priorities straight. They need to work with the authorities. You already have a very strategic, elite team of law enforcement that have said she was not abducted. She was not abducted. And like I said, out of the gate in New York, just like we've seen in Idaho, just like we saw in Missouri, just like we saw in Texas, just like we saw in California, they're like, this is an abduction.
From upstate New York vanished during a family camping trip. She may have been abducted, according to police. Charlotte Sena is her name. Last seen on Saturday night at a state park in upstate New York. Her bike was found about 30 minutes after she disappeared. Juliana Bruno, with our affiliate in Albany, New York, joins us with an update on the ongoing search. Any new leads at this point?
Well, Marnie, we've been here throughout the morning watching crews comb through the woods around the Moreau Lake State Park. We've also spoken with friends and family of Charlotte since yesterday, and they just want to see their little girl return home.
Hug your children, first of all. Say a prayer that this resolves itself in a safe manner. But I think we just have to be on guard, ready to do whatever it needs to get done, because every little bit helps, whether you saw something or you think of something, or it just focus on this, because this little girl needs you.
We saw video, we took video rather from around 9:15 this morning, where you can see search crew members stepping off into the woods from the perimeter right near the park entrance. More than 100 law enforcement officers, along with drones, helicopters, and crews on the water, have been deployed to search for Charlotte. The fourth grader went missing after going for a bike ride. Governor Kathy Hochul was here yesterday detailing the lengths the state will go to find Charlotte. She said Charlotte went for a ride with friends and then wanted to take one more loop around by herself on her bike. And when she did not return about 15 minutes later, her parents knew something was up. She was last seen at 6:15 Saturday evening, and at about 6:45, her bike was found in one of the park loops. Again,
I'll be damned. They know how to tell time. What do you know, Mama B? Do you think them knowing how to tell time and where they were and where she was and what she had on could have helped the authorities and the FBI in New York come to a fast conclusion?
It made all the difference in the world. Nobody knows what Summer had on. First, she had a bathing suit on, then she had shorts on, then she had a sweatsuit on. Who knows?
Who knows? Had her outfit down to a T. Sal said, looks like they gave a recent picture too. I'll be damned. Shit fire. Who'd have thought? Summer Wells, the Amber Alert still shows a little girl who they claim to be 4 years old and thought her birthday was in December, which it's in February, with a bob haircut when she shaved bald. Yeah, I would think a recent picture would help, but that's just me.
Charlotte's family just wants to see their little girl again. They're pleading with the public for any information or help. Marnie.
Right. And to that point, Juliana, many people are going to see this in the New York area and surrounding communities and wonder how they can help. What are authorities saying people can do?
Well, of course, you can save her photo to your phone, memorize some of the descriptors about her. She has green eyes, blonde hair. She was last seen wearing a tie-dye Pokemon t-shirt along with black Crocs and a gray bike helmet. It's important to keep those details out there on social media, on TV, and elsewhere. But they are urging people not to clog the area around the park and to leave the searching to the professionals. They have crews out here by the dozens. We've seen busloads come of search and rescue crews throughout the morning. So the effort is definitely active. Again, that Amber Alert for Charlotte still active. And of course, everyone would love to see her found safe and returned.
And she was found safe. She has been returned home. And I believe that not only the fast action of law enforcement, but the fast action of her parents being fully cooperative led to her being found. It takes more than one detective to solve a case.
I mean, her mother knew that something was wrong. She went and looked. She found the bike. 6:45, they said at the press conference. And 6:47, she was on the phone calling 911. She knew something was wrong. She didn't wait hours. She didn't go take off driving down the road twice to unknown destinations. She knew where she was. Where'd Candace go?
She can't remember. She left 2 more times that day. TBI said, we know you left 2 more times that day.
And can't remember where she went.
Jody Sue said she saw her coming down the driveway, but Jody Sue, sometimes her stories I don't get either.
Well, Jody Sue's a loon.
Oh, woo, woo. Jody Sue's a loon. Jody Sue said she saw her. Candace said she never saw Jody Sue. She's like, Jody Sue makes all that shit up. Then she said she saw Jody Sue standing on the corner and thought it was weird because Jody Sue never stands outside. Well, there's no corner, dipshit. You're on a dead-end road. What corner? What corner? So then we talk about cooperation. Why would the parents of a missing child not want to find their child? Even when the parent of an abducted, true known abduction, according to the FBI, who is Michael Vaughn. This is from Evil Exists. Great channel. Love it. This is where they refused help from the Cold Case Foundation.
Almost 2 years now since Summer was reported missing by her parents. She vanished, allegedly from her home in Rogersville, Tennessee. The public want answers for Summer, and I see the passion in the faces of strangers who desperately want Summer found and justice to be served for her. Any help will do, in my opinion. The more the merrier. Don't you agree?
Talk to Candace and consider the offer of help from the Cold Case Foundation. I believe we now have our answer from Dawn and Candace, and that will be that's a no-go.
Sadly, her parents have said no to help from the Cold Case Foundation. The organization offered their services to assist in finding Summer. I was very disheartened to hear that. Ask yourself this: why would a parent of a missing child say no to help? The help doesn't cost a dime, so money's not an excuse here. The Cold Case Foundation is a big organization. I'm sure they have good resources, so why say no? Even Brandy Neal, mother of missing Michael Vaughn, is struggling to process their reasoning. She went on the lap yesterday and spoke to Dawn Wells herself. My heart went out to her. She was at work, but wanted to talk to Dawn to tell him to consider the help, and that the Cold Case Foundation is just as respectable as the FBI.
Have you met Brandy Neal?
No, I haven't.
She has a missing
Mr.
child.
Wells.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Mr. Wells, my name is
Yep.
Brandy Neal. I am
Good to meet
Michael Joseph Vaughn's mama.
Oh, okay. We tried to get a hold of you before, but people kept us from talking to you. They didn't want us talking to you.
Who's they? We tried to get a hold of you before, but people didn't want us talking to you. Brandy answers all her messages. She answers her own messages. So who's people? Who's this posse around Brandy that doesn't allow her to talk to people? You know, a few weeks ago, another creator said she'd been brainwashed. And there was speculation about wrenches that she has in other chats. Basically, any chat she goes into, someone gives her a wrench to see who she is. We've been trying to get a hold of you, but people don't want us talking to you. She answers her own messages. You can message her on Facebook. It might take her a while. It might take her a while to get to you, but she answers her own email. She answers her own Facebook. She'll give you her phone number if you're not crazy.
Well, through some certain YouTube, they would not let us get in touch with y'all.
Sir, I understand your feelings about all of the YouTubers and everything. I just came outside for a quick break. I'm at work right now. So,
I feel sorry
Sure.
for you. We prayed for you. Because I know what you've been going through too. But
One statement that really stood out to me is when Brandy Neal said, "Your beautiful daughter deserves the help." I totally agree with her. Who cares about their reservations with Chris McDonough? It's not about them, it's about Summer. Brandy's words are so powerful. She told Dawn as it is. Couldn't have said it any better myself. She said she would not leave Hawkins County and TBI's door. She would fight for answers. We've seen her stand together with law enforcement in Michael's case, and they are getting answers. As hard as those answers may be, they're still getting the answers.
Mr. Wells,
yeah,
your beautiful daughter.
yeah, I know.
She deserves the help. And I know, I understand your feelings on YouTubers. Our family has been through the ringer as well, sir.
Right. I know you have.
And I understand what you and Candace have been going through. I get it. I will tell you that the Cold Case Foundation, they are just as respectable as the FBI, sir.
Okay. Well,
They have been very, very helpful, and I understand your reservations with Mr. McDonough, and that's all of what you guys have gone through and everything. Whatever. my
Yeah.
personal feelings with the Cold Case Foundation, with our law enforcement and the FBI, the Idaho State Police.
Right.
They have been helpful, sir.
Okay.
I promise you.
Alright.
Monkey has been missing 641 days,
Yeah.
and we're getting answers as horrible as they are,
And let us not forget that backstage conversation that Rap was a part of, and I put on my channel for everyone to hear, when Dawn and Daisy were being so horrible to Brandy. She had to say how many days Michael's been missing and had to tell Dawn how many days Summer has been missing. He didn't know. He didn't know. And as far as the Cold Case Foundation, we have 2 cases that we cover on this channel right now where the Cold Case Foundation has made amazing moves in. One is Michael Vaughn and the other is Michaela Jones. That track record with just 2 out of this tiny channel should tell Dawn something. But Candace said, "Uck, no," with a capital F.
slow as they're coming, we're getting answers. So
Right.
please, you and Miss Candace, please
Well,
consider.
we will consider
Please
it.
consider.
That's
And
no doubt.
and all you have to do is talk to the TBI and talk to Hawkins
Right.
County, correct?
Well, we can talk to them, see what they say about it, and see if they want their help or whatever. That's no problem. But I mean, we've been looking.
I wouldn't leave their door, sir. And my personal opinion, I would not leave their door. If I could find every possible way.
What does he mean? See if they want the help.
Law enforcement. See if they want the help.
Why wouldn't they want his help? Why wouldn't they want him to cooperate?
Oh, they need more than cooperation. They need more than that. She said, "I wouldn't leave their door." Her and Tyler have not left law enforcement alone since the 911 call, July 27th of 2021. Much like Charlotte's parents, they were like, "If you want to arrest us, but we're not leaving this park."
Yeah.
I know you're closing down the park, but we're not leaving this park. Matter of fact, we're calling in other friends and other family members to help us look. If you want to have a deputy walk with us, fine. We understand you have a job to do, but we have a job to do too as parents. So get the cuffs ready. We're not leaving this park. Dawn and Candace got pissed because the helicopters woke them up. What do you think about that, Mama B?
Probably woke him up at noon.
I've been down the private investigator avenue as well. Our family has. We've done many private investigations and worked with law enforcement alongside of it. So
Yeah. Well, I get it. We're trying everything we can. We're doing what we can. I'm very limited as what I can do. I have to work for a living.
they don't.
He's I'm very limited as what I can do. I have to work for a living. As he's smoking Pall Malls, shooting back R&R whiskey, and she's at work saying they're not going to charge you anything. But they're going to have questions for you that you're going to have to answer to help them put it together. Tracy said, "Limited on searching for your daughter?" Two Boston moms said, "Exactly." Peach State Mama said, "You can't touch the crack fund." I'm limited on what I can do because I got to work for a living. What do you think she's doing? Think she's volunteering at work? She's at work, using her break to talk to your silly ass. You basic bastard.
And worked with law enforcement alongside of it. So
Well, I get it. We're trying everything we can. We're doing what we can. I'm very limited as what I can do. I have to work for a living.
they don't charge a damn dime, sir. Not a dime. They, with your permission.
Okay, here's a side note. When she was talking to Don, as she calls Mr. Wells, she's always respectful. She said, they don't charge a damn dime, sir. He went on to complain that she cussed at him. Did you consider that a cuss out, Mama B?
Nope.
I can't believe she cussed at me. I can't believe she cussed at me. I can't believe you allowed her to cuss at me.
She said they don't charge a damn dime. She wasn't talking about you. Stupid.
And you asking for the Cold Case Foundation, and no, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a cold case.
It's me applying a pressure to.
Okay, I don't have time for Jody Sue today. Whew. Muscle said, no, I got some cuss words for him. Even on her birthday, she does. Woo! Mama B, I think we're unpacking a lot of Louis Vuitton today, if you know what I mean.
It gets crazier by the minute.
Do you think the point has been made that Charlotte and Summer's case are in no way, shape, or form connected?
I mean, in here it has been, but I'm sure on the YouTube streets it's still going to be talked about.
Just like Charlotte, I told you someone took Summer. Someone took that baby. Just like Charlotte. You said a few months ago that a FedEx driver ran her over like Athena. What is it? What is it? Two Boston moms, we don't want this. She said, it's getting me all riled up. It's getting me all riled up. Well, I tell you what's going to get you all riled up now. JLR made it to TMZ yesterday. Woo! I about shit and fell back in it. JLR has hit the big time. Look at this. Have you seen this, Mama B?
No, I just read that his video made it to TMZ.
Oh, yeah. They're going to wind up giving him a job, mark my words, because he's all over the United States.
He moved quick.
He moved quick. And there is no boundary old JLR will not cross.
I about shit when I saw him outside that park next to that big sign. I said, oh my God, he's here.
He's going to wind up being the next correspondent on TMZ. He's going to be in the office the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
Whew, I could not believe this. This, guys, I know some people have their thoughts on JLR. One creator calls him a dick stump, whatever. Let me tell you, he's been nothing but kind to me. He's been nothing but kind to this channel. When he gets an interview, I will email him and I'm like, can I put this on my channel? And he's always like, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Andrew Hiltz wanted $80 in gas to go to the park to search for Charlotte. Did you put any money in his Cash App, Mama B?
Not me.
Okay. I hear that Andrew wants JLR to buy him dinner.
Oh, boy.
Woo! Dinner time. Where would you have dinner in upstate New York? Where's your favorite place?
If we go out, we go to the Texas Roadhouse. That's about it. Or the truck stop at exit 16.
Truck stops have great food. Great food. But our friend, he is a friend of our channel. I know people have their own opinions about him, and you can have all the opinions you want. But I I need to send him, I have an email written out. I need to send it to tell him congratulations because this is great. JLR.
Do you live here? Yeah. You live here? Yeah. Okay. So authorities were here searching. I was covering the search. I mean, this is a national case.
Yes, I understand, but we are his kids. We obviously understand the gravity of this situation.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. Obviously, I don't want to be harassed.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a video cam. Obviously,
Yeah.
It's your amendment right. I am 100% aware of that. You're being videotaped. You're on a public road. I am 100% aware of that.
So this is Craig Ross Jr.'s son. I'll put his mugshot up. I also understand he has an 11-year-old daughter. All right, so this is the man that allegedly kidnapped Charlotte. Okay, and for those that are catching on the replay or listen to channels other than this one, which there's tons out there, he was nowhere near Rogersville, Tennessee, June 15th of 2021. Nobody has told me that. I am just making an uneducated guess. Just like Sarah and Stacy Wondra weren't. Just like the FedEx driver that kidnapped Athena Strand. They were not in Tennessee. This is wild, my friend.
Aware of that. You're being videotaped. You're on a public road. I am 100% aware of that. Right? But he's in jail. We want nothing to do with him. I can give a fuck if the dude dropped that tomorrow. I can give a fuck if anything. I can care less.
What would you mind coming out and saying that, and just so the public, so the public, you know, maybe just come out here. And
I have it on video right there.
it's hard to hear. Could you just come down and say how you're feeling?
I just told you how I'm feeling.
So you're saying you want nothing to do with him?
No, no. He's disgusting. He's gross. He should die. I can care less. That's how I feel. All right?
Gotcha.
I can give a rat's ass what happens.
Gotcha.
You got that video?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say JLR has had some exclusives, but to talk to the son of the alleged kidnapper saying, I could give a rat's ass. Do you have that on video? I hope he drops dead. Can't be. That is clear as crystal. Would you not say, Mama B?
Yeah, he made his point known.
He made his point known. Oh, this is great. This was gold.
I can give a rat's ass what happens.
Gotcha.
You got that video?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Gotcha. Thank you. Praying for you. You have a great day. Thank you.
Woo!
He was polite about it too. Jonathan says, you have a great day. And he says, you too.
Yeah. He said, praying for you.
I can't imagine being this guy's kids.
Oh, I can't either. And if they think JLR is bad, get ready, because now that TMZ knows exactly where they live, well, they're going to have some stuff going on. Corey said to each his own. Peach State said, great job, JLR. Hello, September Virgo. Did you hear we're having birthdays in here today? Muscle's birthday, Chloe's birthday, Pat K's son's birthday. And just imagine what the kids are thinking right now. This is a man they've known since birth. And they're saying, I don't give a rat's ass.
And the little girl having to go to school at the same school where this little girl went to school.
I have a feeling it was her mama that said he lives with his mama.
Yeah.
You and I talked about that yesterday.
And that house, or one of his houses, I guess there's like 3 properties registered in his name. but I believe it's that house is only 1,400 feet from where the Sennas live.
Which blew my mind when you told me that. And it goes along with my stalking theory.
Yeah.
Just my theory. I'm not in law enforcement because I think we're going to wind up seeing more charges. We obviously have a ransom note, which would be federal. Stalking. And it's raining in here again. What are you all doing? My goodness. Thank you so much. If you received a gift membership, please thank the person that gifted you. Well, hello, Tam, you old stranger. Okay, so we still have a lot of chatter, a lot of stuff going on. I'm switching gears. You know how we do on this show from time to time. Common Sense True Crime put this up because there are a lot of people arguing that there is nothing wrong with Cam and Allie. That they are not on drugs. They have every right to refuse drug testing. I don't know if that's true. I mean, you can refuse anything, but you know, they're not going to work with you if you don't work with them. And Holly has been calling out their behavior for quite some time. Not so much Allie's, but Cam's. And she has received a lot of heat, even when other creators were coming after her, talking about everything from her lip liner to how she doesn't know what she's talking about. Well, she knew what she was talking about, as did many of us. But she was the loudest about it because we have a lot of sympathy for Cam and Allie. I don't mean in here, but it seems that what the children were put through seems to be forgotten by some. And to me, that is very, very sad and tells me everything that is wrong with our world. The first thing I thought when I heard this was those poor children, not Cam and Allie didn't do anything. It's their business if they want to do drugs. So what she put out a couple of days ago really made me sad. And I think this was the final nail in their coffin.
Hatred can be considered a form of obsession when some constantly focuses on negative feelings towards others. It can consume their thoughts, make it difficult for them to think.
Whoa.
This is scary. This is hard to watch. I have no idea. I'm not in that world, okay? But whatever he did hit him hard, and he's out. And that's with children there. Mama B, I'm going to assume you're not in that world either.
No.
However, had I been watching this show live and I was subscribed and I was an active, listener or watcher, I probably would have made a phone call, reached out, or just unsubbed altogether. This is horrible. Horrible.
Oh my gosh, dude, man. Allison. I just got the craziest little message, dude. Come here. I need your help with this, baby. Can you take this over for a second? I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go take care of this. Can you cover this for a second for me? I'll take my headphones off. All I did was I got through with showing where the other boy went missing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like right there. Somebody made me mad in there, and then I just saw something somebody said, and I just remembered that I have something I can show everybody. So if you'll take care of this, I'll go get it. Here's my headphones. My head is hurting so bad. Here. I ain't telling you. It's that purple freaking light. Here, go ahead.
I don't think that purple light is what made him lose all focus. I certainly don't think any comment made him that mad.
Yeah, dude, it's killing me too. Ow, ow, ow.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Well, I don't know what y'all were talking about, so give me just a second.
And in the background, you hear a big snort. You hear a sniff. Did you hear that, Mama B?
No, I didn't catch it.
Listen, I'm going to rewind it. He said something about needing his pills. And then you hear it.
I can't handle that light like that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the creek. I don't know how y'all got on the creek, but the creek did flood not long after Summer went missing, and Candace Dawn had made a call.
Now, how damn sad is that? You hear the kids. This is not because of a purple light. When lights are bright, you don't just go nodding off. I don't know. He can't hear with the lights. What the hell is going on there?
Can't hear with the lights.
Mm-hmm. And what the hell's the smoke coming up?
I assume cigarette smoke. Do they smoke cigarettes?
Oh, I think so. Whew. Not gonna lie, that scared me a little bit when I saw that. But way to go, Holly. Good job, Holly. Before we end the show, would you guys like a little bit of positivity? See a funny clip? Something to get us out of this funk of bad things we've been talking about? How about you, Mama B?
Sure.
Off topic, you know how we do. This is from Caught in Providence. I absolutely love this judge. And sometimes when people bring their kids to court, he brings the kids up on the stand with him. It is hilarious. I'm going to put the link in here right now if you want to subscribe to the channel. Look at this. This little boy is hilarious. Out of the mouths of babes, as they say. I love that. And the judge just dismissed the ticket. Be careful out there. I'm going to give you credit for your driving record in Africa. And Muscle said, this is my kid. Yeah. When you have kids around you, you don't get away with shit. Today, Mama B was telling me that if she scolds her daughter for anything, she'll get on the phone and say, I'm going to call Dad.
That's what she does every time.
Yep. You don't get away with nothing when you have those little eyes on you. They tell us all the time, don't take your eyes off your kids. They don't take their eyes off of us. They know everything we do. They can just get done eating lunch and say, what's for dinner? Woo! Always something. Well, this has been another great show. Now, tomorrow, we are going to be doing a show about Gypsy Rose because she's getting out of jail. Yes, my friends, Gypsy Rose is getting out of jail soon. And we are going to hash through it, the good, bad, and indifferent. And you tell me, should she be paroled or not? Always a great show with you guys. Mama B was a wonderful co-host. Let's give her a round of applause. So do you think we got through it, Mama B? I think, have we established that Charlotte and Summer are not similar cases?
I think we have.
Okay.
We're probably the only ones, but we have.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I think everybody in here is like-minded. That's the reason we have the best chat and best community on YouTube. But before I totally shut it down, I want to wish my friend Muscles and Mascara, Chloe Jade, and Pat K's son a spectacular birthday again. Light the chat up. And many more on Channel 4 and Scooby-Doo on Channel 2. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. But that didn't rhyme. I was going to do it today, but I'm going to be tied up this afternoon. So tomorrow morning, Gypsy Rose, and going to give you a heads up about Friday's show. There is going to be a trigger warning because it's a really hard show to get through, but we will discuss that tomorrow. Again, big hats off and round of applause to Mama B for coming up. Love talking to her, love her insight, love her friendship, love all of you. Best chat, best community, best mods on YouTube. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships, the donations to the channel, and well, just for being you. So you take care of your spiny spine today. It's hump day. We're out, Mama B.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
All right.